Yeah, hi everyone. Yeah, another live stream from Africa, LunarCRUSH Africa. And today we are hosting Pundi X, one of our representatives from Ghana, BTC King. Pleasure to have you, man. And we're going to discuss a lot about Pundi X today and what it's doing in Africa. So maybe just as an introduction, where are you exactly and what do you do?
Yeah, my name is Dee Duncan. I go by BTC King. Um, I'm literally in Accra, Ghana right now.
Yeah,
And yeah, I've been here for a little bit and have a lot of friends and connections here in West Africa.
yeah,
And so I've been traveling back and forth to West Africa since I would say the year 2015. And once I became involved in crypto heavily, I've always had Africa in my view in reference to this technology is designed for places like this. So yeah, that's where I'm located.
Were you born in Africa?
No, I was born in the U.S.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pleasure to have you here. We we love to see guys come over and just do spectacular things like you're doing. Maybe just as an introduction, what do you think about crypto in Africa, and when did you learn of what's going on in this space in Africa, and what do you think about it?
Well, for me, in 2015, I took a trip to Bamako in
Yeah.
Mali, and bit of a tougher transition just because of the language barrier there, but the people's heart and the way that I was treated was nothing I had experienced outside of the U.S. And I've traveled to Asia, I've traveled to Europe, so not traveling internationally is not something that's new to me,
Yeah.
but just to interact with people and feel the warmth of the community and the culture really had an impact on me. So
Wow.
um, yeah, it's that deep for me. And I've traveled to East Africa as well, and Uganda. I actually attended the first blockchain conference in Uganda for the continent of Africa. That
Yeah.
was I think in 2019 or 2018 or 2019, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
And just been coming back and forth.
What prompted you to come the first time?
The first time literally was I was studying the music.
Wow.
Um, yeah, from the Mali Empire
Yeah.
that spans over, Senegal. You have Gambia. You have Ivory Coast, Burkina, Guinea. That music spans over those nations, and so I was taking classes with a very renowned teacher, Musa Traore, from Mali, and yeah, just kept coming.
Okay. So if someone asked you maybe, what do you think about Africa? Having come here.
When you come to Africa, if you're coming from the Western world, if you're coming from Europe, more Europeans are understanding, but if you're coming from America, don't come to Africa expecting to see the United States in Africa. Come to Africa expecting to see what Africa has to offer,
Yeah.
and I think you won't be disappointed, not in the slightest.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe let's talk crypto. How did you get introduced to crypto, and when did you come to know about Pundi X and your story on Pundi X? How did you start, and how did you come to Africa eventually?
Sure. My journey into crypto started in 2015.
Yeah,
What? Yeah, 2015. I was meeting a friend of mine um, in Mali, and I hadn't seen him in a year. I was like, Zeke, what's up, man? What's new in your life? Just a
yeah,
very basic, ice-breaking question, right?
yeah.
It wasn't in this moment. He told me Bitcoin, and so I was going to be in Mali for 2 weeks, and
Wow.
we spent most of our time playing music and talking crypto, playing music and talking crypto. By the time it was time to come back, I said,
Yeah,
Zeke, I need about a week and a half, 2 weeks. thereabouts, and I'll have some funds ready to put in on my first Bitcoin. And so my good buddy helped me buy my first Bitcoin, and I've been in ever since. In end of 2017, going into 2018, I found out about Pundi X. I'm one of the first, I believe, one of the first people in the U.S. to start really talking about it. And I would do almost weekly updates on Facebook about Pundi X and just laying out what they're all about, who's on the team, what things they've accomplished, and all of these things. And by the end of 2018, going into 2019, they offered me the ability to sell the machines in the United States.
Wow.
And the rest is history. So, yeah.
Oh, that's a good story, man. And maybe if I ask right now, do you stay in Africa or do you stay back in the United States?
Yes.
You stay in Africa?
Wow. I stay in both.
Okay, both.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, for someone maybe who doesn't understand what Pundi X is, and maybe they're new here and they just want to know what Pundi X is and what they're all about, what maybe would you tell them? What is Pundi X?
The platform that the company Pundi X is a research and development fintech company based out of Singapore. They have come up with the first physical blockchain product that caters to the point of sales industry.
Yeah.
So when you go into a coffee shop, you go into a grocery store, you go into a mall or a gas station or a nightclub or a lounge, we all in the West, we all use credit and debit cards. Here in Africa, cash is still one of the more prominent means of doing transactions, as well as Momo or M-Pesa.
Very true,
what they've done is basically taken the ability to transact commerce in crypto. So the point of sales machine allows for merchants to be able to access the network and sell crypto locally to all of the citizens of that community, and also accept payments in crypto, literally in crypto, as a means of accepting payments. So there are three components to the Pundi X XPOS ecosystem. You have the XPOS, which is here. And maybe I have a different version of it because we are in the US. This particular version processes debit and credit cards. The original one does not. But because I'm in the US, we have to have it because 90% of all transactions are done by credit and debit cards. So this is the XPOS software here by Pundi X. It allows for the sale of 21 different cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, MakerDAO's DAI, Pundi X, BNB, and many other different cryptocurrencies. So this is called the PAX A920 XPOS, and then there's the original XPOS. Secondly, you have the X Wallet, which is the mobile application that you access. You have to register, download the X Wallet on Google or Apple, and go through a KYC process with that. And then it gives you access to the wallet, and that helps you transact on the XPOS system. And then lastly, we have a digital card called the XPass card that doesn't require KYC, can be used to buy crypto and also exchange crypto for goods and services.
Wow. Okay, that's really awesome. Let me ask a question. How many cryptocurrencies can I be able to transact on the platform? Maybe
21 currently.
Wow, that's a good one. And the other question is, now as a distributor, maybe let's start with the United States. How did you find adoption, and so far, how many have you done? If you can be able to give a rough estimate and compare that to what you've done in Africa.
Sure. So in the US, last year I partnered with PAX Technology, which is one of the major POS manufacturers. POS stands for point of sale
Yeah.
manufacturers, meaning they make the hardware for the POS machines, and also partner with WorldPay by Fisk Global, which is the number one payment processor in the United States,
Wow.
to bring about the first point of sales device in the world that does debit card, credit card, meaning Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Discover, Google Pay, Apple Pay, Samsung Pay, and 21 different cryptocurrencies. That had never been done before.
Yeah.
So after that announcement, we've seen a huge uptick in adoption and merchants wanting
Yeah.
to take on the technology. We're up to over 30 locations, 40 locations in the US,
Yeah.
continuing to grow. One of our key locations is our location in Charlotte, North Carolina, where we have the number one cigar lounge
Wow.
in Charlotte that uses the X Post on a day-to-day basis. They have on the third Tuesday of every month, cigar and crypto and cigar nights, where
Yeah.
all payments that night is in cryptocurrency, and they shut the bar down in the sense of normal business activity and really dedicate that time to really engage in the community and educating on cryptocurrency. And this, our technology, the X Post, is used as a way to teach the people. Mostly business owners hang out there, so they're teaching more merchants about the technology.
Okay, maybe for someone who hasn't used the tech before, why would I shift from my card to Expos maybe?
Well, I would say the economic environment that we're in right now, right? Where you have most of the world still dealing with COVID-19, most of the world dealing with being off from work, being unemployed, there's no jobs. And so people are looking for ways to still stabilize themselves and have an economic future. And one of the best ways to solve that problem is through cryptocurrencies. A lot of people around the world, not just in the US, but around the world, have done very well since 2020 because of cryptocurrency. And so more and more people, as the word continues to spread about the use cases of Bitcoin, and that name continues to be a global brand, and
Yeah.
Ethereum and all of these different cryptocurrencies, as the word gets out there through the media, people still need easier ways to access those currencies. And that's what our system facilitates.
Wow. So really, let's talk about what you're doing in Africa. And I have seen so much hype around Expos and what's doing in Ghana and West Africa. And maybe tell us more about what you're doing around there.
Um, this kind of catches me in a very awkward moment, because a lot of the things that I'm working on, I can't say anything about yet. But just know
Okay.
that I'll say this:
Yeah.
know that we are working to bring about crypto adoption for Africa, starting
Yeah.
in Ghana.
Yeah.
And in order to do that, it doesn't start always with just issuing the technology. You have to have permission to do that, and that takes time to really interface with the lawmakers and regulators here in Ghana to have their blessing. And that is kind of where we are. That's the stage that we're at right now,
Yeah.
with all of this. And so once we have then the deployment will ensue, and we'll get going pretty quickly. What I can say, because this is public, I had the chance to meet. I took a flight, or not a flight, a drive to Mali, which is the northern region of Ghana, and I met one of the chiefs there, and showed him the system. Loved it. He's seen it, and we're
I saw.
constantly in dialogue. Chief Na Somo of the Dagbon tribe up there. It's one of the oldest traditional cultures and kingdoms in Ghana. And
Wow.
so to be able to associate with them, and connect with them, and they love the technology and plan on using it. Those are the types of things that we want to see, is real use of the devices, and have the transaction volumes reflect that, and just overall crypto adoption in Africa. Because like I said when we started this conversation, I believe this technology was created for Africa.
Yeah. Why?
Because Africa has everything when you think about it from an economic power base, right?
Yeah.
Africa hosts most of the world's resources, natural resources. It owns most of that,
Yeah.
right? A lot of it is still untapped. What's needed here on the continent is a technological revolution, to where you can monetize your assets, you can digitize your assets, you can track your supply chains, where your shipments are going and coming from. You have visibility on your medical supplies. All of these things can be done via blockchain technology. You can revolutionize your technology in reference to telecommunications, to get people off of paying prepay to some type of credit-based system, all through blockchain technology. So these are some of the things that I think will definitely revolutionize the continent. Even more widespread use of internet here on the continent, with high band and high throughput, will also be a benefit. So there's a lot of things that I believe that can be done here that will definitely boost the economic GDP as a whole continent, not just from a national perspective.
Wow. And maybe that leads me to the next question. Why start with Ghana?
Oh, well, I would answer that question in this way. Sometimes in life, you don't always get to choose where you land.
Yeah.
Sometimes the place chooses you. In this case, that's what happened with Ghana. You know, that, like you said, there are many different countries in Africa, but I really believe that I was chosen by, just being in Ghana and meeting the people. A lot of things opened up here very easily for me. And
Wow.
so because of that, you go where you're sent, and you just tap in. So that's what's happened here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe what other countries are you looking at right now in Africa?
Oh, I had my eyes set on Nigeria
Yeah.
as a place to take a look. I've never been to Nairobi. I've never been to Kenya.
You
Would
should
love to
come.
come there. But though I would say those are the two places that were on my radar, and also South Africa. But we have some presence in South Africa already.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe just recently we saw in Africa we really had some I wouldn't call them issues, but I just say challenges when it comes to regulation in crypto.
Sure.
Um, what do you think about that, and how do you think we could address that as a continent?
Well, this is something that's very near and dear to my heart, because currently the regulations, as written, without any edits, I have to say this. These are my personal views. This doesn't reflect on Pundi X. This is just what I've seen as a person of color
Yeah.
in Africa. Okay, so I have to say that.
Yeah.
I believe KYC excludes people in Africa and in South America and in most Black and brown places around the world. When
Yeah.
you look at the list of countries that are banned from cryptocurrencies, most of those are people that look like you and me,
Very true.
right?
Yeah.
So why are you in one way saying, we're blockchain technology is supposed to be financially inclusive, when you have this component called KYC and AML that excludes the majority of the people that need to utilize this technology?
Yeah.
So how do we fix that? I think what's needed is the countries within Africa have to develop sandboxes, and come up with a update system of onboarding fintech companies in a very transparent way and a
Yeah.
very frictionless way so that Africa can have its own blockchain companies solving its own problems on the continent. There are so many, you know it better than I. Nairobi is a tech hub. There are plenty of brains. There's enough mind there in Nairobi, here in Ghana, over in Lagos, you name it, or South Africa. There's plenty of brilliant people throughout Africa that can build applications to solve real world problems here on the continent of Africa. The problem is having the governance to say, okay, as a government, I'm going to allow this to happen in my country as long as I have visibility and transparency. Once that happens, it's game on here on the continent.
Wow. Wow. That's all I could say. Wow. That's a
Yeah.
nice way. Also, you know, I was telling someone Africa is very dynamic. We have so many countries, and each country has its own constitution, own language,
Yes.
People
Culture.
look at Africa as one country. Africa is
Right.
actually 52 countries, but there's a very good chance we can work together because I don't see these boundaries were created by people who I'm also not representing LunarCRUSH on this, but these boundaries were created by people who are not like us, who didn't have the ideas we have right now. And I believe in the future, technology will solve a lot of what we are seeing today. And that's what we're living for right now. That's why live streams like this make me so happy and so excited. That's a very exciting answer to me. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So maybe back to Pundi X.
sure.
In Africa now, how much demand are you seeing, and what problems are you solving, and so far how have you been since you started setting up in Ghana and in Mali?
The thing that really surprised me is how much response that I've gotten since I've been here. Um, I've tried to maintain a very low key presence in Ghana surrounding crypto, just because I want to make sure things are ready, to move forward. Getting calls from Nigeria on a weekly basis, there's a real problem over there because CBN, the Central Bank of Nigeria, came in and said, "Hey, we're not going to allow your bank accounts to touch crypto anymore. You can't send funds and exchange fiat for crypto anymore. You can do peer to peer, but
Yeah.
as far as the banking system is concerned, you cannot." And so that puts some constraints on being able to get in the country and utilize the technology, but that doesn't stop the demand for Bitcoin in that country. In fact, I read an article, I think, that the crypto sales, Bitcoin sales, has increased since
Yeah.
the CBN has made that announcement, which not surprising. People definitely want to be engaged in this space called cryptocurrency. They see the prices going up, and with huge momentum going up. And so you cannot really regulate something like that. It's best to put a framework in place so that you have visibility, as I said, and just let things be what they're going to be. So that's kind of where we are right now in reference to the demand. Most of it is coming from Nigeria. I get calls from Liberia a few times. A lot of people here are looking to access Bitcoin and cryptocurrency here in Ghana. And so we're meeting some of that demand on a personal level. And
Yeah.
so it's, I think the future is very bright when you start looking at the continent of Africa and where things are in reference to cryptocurrency.
Okay. Maybe let's talk about some marketing and your approach to marketing in the United States for a crypto product. Is it the same as what you do here in Africa, or maybe in
Sure.
Africa you different? It's the same.
So I'm a big fan of guerrilla marketing, right? Where
Yeah.
you create a social media channel, Twitter, Facebook. I don't do YouTube, LinkedIn, and you just post content. And after a while, people start finding your content and start sharing it and talking about it, start sharing it and talking about it. And that's how we got here, right?
Wow. Yeah.
Um, and, we will do the same thing here in Ghana, but the difference is because Africa is so much more of a community culture,
Yeah.
right? Where people like to feel, touch, and see who you are and what you're about and feel your spirit. Even with COVID, people are still willing to come out to events, and
Yeah.
and we're hosting some of those events here in Ghana. And I've been asked by a friend of mine that formerly worked at the Bank of Ghana to do a virtual event. So we're looking into doing that. So I think the mix of virtual and once the COVID protocols are lax and people can travel freely, we'll host a big event here in Ghana and start traveling around the continent of Africa and having meetups and stuff. So that's kind of what we're going to do. And I'm sure by doing all of these different things here on the continent, the media outlets will pick up on it, and the rest is history.
Yeah. What are some of the noticeable benefits of crypto? Let's say, for example, if I was a Ghanaian and I'm in Ghana, maybe I want to benefit from whatever Pundi X is doing. What approach maybe would you advise me to do to take?
It's not financial advice. I'm going to take the approach of if it was me. If it was me and I am a Ghanaian or a Nigerian or a Nairobian, I don't know if that's the right word, but
Kenyan.
if I'm from one of those nations,
Yeah.
we have seen, meaning me, a lot of people from Africa buy Pundi X when it
Yeah.
was super dirt cheap, right? We're
Yeah.
talking to put in perspective, to own 1 million coins a year and a half ago was just under $100 US,
Wow.
right? That
Yeah.
same $1 million as of last month was 2,500. I mean, 1 million coins cost 2,500 US.
Wow. Wow. That's 25x.
Yeah, so you can imagine if you're living on the continent of Africa and you purchased at that time MPXS and you held it
Yeah.
and you saw a 25x return, what did that do to your life? I've had friends from South Africa call me and say, "Hey man, that made me near a millionaire
Yeah. Wow.
here in Africa."
Yeah.
So a lot of people are paying attention to crypto. That's not just the only cryptocurrency people are paying attention to. Obviously, Bitcoin, obviously Ethereum, and many other different legitimate cryptos that are
Yeah.
being purchased and utilized. And DeFi, decentralized finance, is definitely having an impact here on the continent of Africa. And so, it's great, man. This is a great time to be in this space.
Wow. Apart from holding, maybe is there another way I could make money still? Maybe staking or something of that sort.
I would say definitely staking is probably the easiest way.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of trading cryptos for the mass majority of people because that requires you to have some very serious skills, not from just clicking a button and trading the coin, but actually having the knowledge of economic factors that play into your decision to buy these coins and trade these coins at a specific time. So definitely staking and engaging in decentralized finance, legitimate projects, again, is the best way to go. And the numbers tell us that holding your coins versus trading proves to be the better way, meaning holding
Yeah.
your crypto it proves to be the better way to earn and gain a net worth versus trying to gamble with the trading.
Wow. I think we should go on and on. I'm also learning a lot. And also,
Yeah.
the other question is maybe in the near future, where do you see Pundi X, and what do you think people should expect from Pundi X in the next couple of months and years also?
Disclaimer, I haven't talked to the team to know what the roadmap is for the future, but reading the tea leaves of the overall payments industry. And I say this from a person that's in the payments industry. So let me just say that in America, I sit on the Faster Payments Council, which is sponsored by the Federal Reserve Bank in the United States. You have Walmart in there, JP Morgan and Chase, you have Target, Best Buy, you have BNY Mellon, you have a lot of different financial institutions and publicly traded companies in the Faster Payments Council. And everybody's trying to figure out how to integrate crypto into a payments mechanism. So if this is going to be a trend, a long-standing trend, similar to what contactless payments was, that's not something new in payments, right? Contactless payments isn't something new. So the next thing I believe that beyond contactless payments is crypto payments, right? So being first mover in the crypto payment space has huge impetus. So I believe that more and more big box companies, more and more governments will definitely tap the shoulder of the company and say, hey, we want to utilize your technology on some of our social programs. We need to deliver payments faster to our citizens. And crypto, as you know, cryptocurrency, hands down, is the most efficient way to do that. And I think we're going to see some very unique use cases come out of a crypto POS being able to deploy massive amounts of payments to customers around the world. I think that's the biggest thing with Pundi X coming forward.
Okay. And I'd also like just to know from your own perspective, where do you see Africa in the crypto space in the next couple of years?
Ooh, I envision Africa being a world leader.
Wow.
In crypto. Yeah, because you have Africa is one of the continent of Africa. I have to say continent of Africa, so people don't think that there are no countries here. The continent of Africa has one of the youngest populations in the world, and with the most vibrancy I've seen. So, the young people are very smart. They're definitely looking for a lot of opportunities, not afraid to take chances, and based off of that base level, getting access to crypto will definitely have a revolutionary impact here in Africa. And you give an African ability to create a cryptocurrency or integrate with a protocol, you never know what you're going to get because they see things so differently, right? And so you might get something that has never been seen, never been created. And I expect to see a lot of that with this technology over the next 5 to 10 years. Yeah.
Awesome. I think maybe the last thing, as BTC King now, talk to a young African or any African maybe who's listening to us today. What would you love to leave them with?
I would say the biggest thing that I would like to leave the audience with is don't be afraid to take calculated risk. This is the first time in modern history that I'm aware of that the citizenship around the world, people, just everyday people like you and I, have the ability to access a financial product or asset class before the institutions take hold of it. In other words, you're able to front run an asset class called digital currencies and cryptocurrencies that the banks aren't in yet. Most of the financial institutions around the world are not in yet, and all of them are coming. They're coming. So if you can start to take some of your capital and invest in cryptocurrencies before these guys get in, your future is looking very bright. So that's the encouraging thing that I would like to leave the audience with today.
Awesome. That was a great conversation. Had fun through it all, man. I think with that, maybe we will end our conversation from there.
Sure.
We look forward to having more conversations with you. That was a great one. And maybe we can have a conversation background and see whether we can have another one.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And,
As-
I'm definitely open to coming to, to Nigeria, to Nairobi, with people that I know or somebody that knows them. Definitely open to travel. So look forward to that as well.
Awesome. So that's it from us. I think from there we will end our live stream here. See you guys later.